I really tried to dress the part. Today's video is all about the devil's lettuce. Hey y'all. So, oh my god, first off, I got these pants for Christmas. I don't know if you can tell in this light. You kind of can. They're green Adidas. Backtrack. Adidas joggers are the best pants on the planet. It's not a competition. They just are. And I got green ones. Do you see these are green? Well, now you can't really tell in the lighting. I'm excited about it, okay? Just know that I'm wearing green pants and you're not. Every now and then, I enjoy partaking in a substance. You read the title of the video. When I'm elevated by myself, I often find myself just doing full stand-up comedy routines, just to the wall, or to my dogs. I've always kind of figured that they're not good stand-up routines because of my state of mind. So the other night, I wrote down 2 bits I came up with while stoned, and I'm going to try and workshop them into something actually funny. We'll see if this works. It's probably not going to work. First bit, I'm going to read it to you just as it is on the page in all of its nonsense glory. I don't support the production of AI because if robots get the ability to think for themselves, I'm going to feel bad for the robots, and then I'm going to find myself fighting for robots' rights, and I don't want to be on that side of the robot war. I actually think AI is so fascinating because the discussion of when does life begin has always centered on abortion. But we should also be questioning when life has been created where there once wasn't. Like, bro, the robot didn't ask to gain a consciousness, why did you burden him? That one really turned into a rant. Which, by the way, I fully believe this. I fully believe that we should stop making AI. I always felt bad for the robot in iRobot. Alright, so we gotta start with like a lead-in. We gotta lead into it, right? See, I just took the stage. This is the mic that they have at open mic nights. So they're making this thing called AI. So, I was watching a movie the other day. You could go the Jerry Seinfeld route. So what's the deal with AI? So I feel like everybody these days, no, AI, you know what's the deal with AI? I'm at a protest. What's a place where people go to protest in New York? I want like a location. I want like, I feel like protests don't really go to Central Park. Times Square? I'll just do Times Square. What would my protest sign say? Robots deserve love too. If it can think, it can feel. You created life, let it live. Let me look up protest signs, actually, really quick. Let me look up funny protest signs. Let me just plagiarize a joke right now. I'm kidding. I would never. Alright, let's think of a pun. Wires have a sign that says what the fuck was that laugh? Wires can love too. Let's leave the wires for a second. We're abandoning wires. What else is evolved in robots? Chips, right? Technology. I'm realizing how little I know about robots. Ooh, what if we go the AI route? Okay, so artificial intelligence is still... Oh my gosh, that adds on a whole other layer. We're gonna have to argue that it's not artificial anymore once it becomes intelligence. You guys, I'm really not ready for the robot protests. Okay, I don't know why I'm so married to something about the wires. Wires... Then nothing rhymes with that, right? Wire, crier. Prior to the wires, there were fires. I was gonna say you don't get to play God and then abandon your creations, but, that's what God did. Uh-oh, hey-oh. Watch out, because the second bit that we're gonna get to involves Catholicism. So that'll be spicy. Maybe this joke just isn't meant to work. And the next thing you know, I'm at a protest in Times Square holding up a sign that says, that says robots, no bots. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with holding up a sign that says, if it can think, it can feel. And that's when the set ends. Should I make a segue between the two bits? Oh gosh. I've got a segue. Oh my god, I've got a segue. Alright, now we're moving on to the next bit. And this one, you guys, I want you to know that it's not going to be topical. It's not going to be topical to a lot of people, but it's topical to me, okay? And that is because I am currently in the process of watching Fleabag for the first time. Since I just said this is about to be a bit on Catholicism, if you have watched Fleabag, and if you haven't, you're about to be, very confused. Okay, this is my second bit that I had written down. This is draft 1 of nonsense. I was very briefly raised Catholic, like not enough to make me believe in God, but just enough to implant the idea of guilt into my soul. I didn't think it left any impression on me, but then I watched season 2 of Fleabag. And now I am deleting all of my dating apps. Instead, I will be going to every church in my area until I find a hot priest whose values I can compromise. No other man will do until that has been accomplished. When the whole world was obsessed with hot priest, I wasn't ready for it. And now he's all I think about. You ever just been so impacted by a fictional relationship that you literally wake up depressed? Because that's how I feel about Fleabag and the priest. Okay. And when oh, that is not how you spell Catholic. But it's not correcting me. What's a word for like, inherent but not? Just enough, because I just did implant, so I don't want to do another I word. Like, not long enough to make me actually believe in God, but just long enough to implant an innate sense of shame into my soul. I know that's an I word, okay? But I like it more than inherent. I don't know how sexual I want to get with this. Alright, and now I want to just really quickly bring it back to the AI thing, right? Because everybody loves a callback. That's the best. Everybody loves at the end of a stand-up set when they bring it back to where it first was, and you're like, I remember when they made that joke 5 minutes ago. So we need a callback. Spoiler alert, I never come up with a callback. Oh look, you can see my little editing screen in my glasses. Hi. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And next thing you know, I'll be kneeling in prayer. I'm so sorry to all the religious people that are going to watch this. Alright, now we got to tie it back to the AI. Callback. And then I'll go home and absolutely destroy myself from the guilt because, hey, that's Catholicism. Maybe I don't need a callback, but what's an ending joke? Because, hey, that's Catholicism. Alright. I don't love this set. Okay, I want you to know that before I say it. I don't love it. I don't. It's better than what initially was on the page. Alright, so are you ready? I'm gonna deliver it. Should I hold the microphone? I'm gonna hold this like I'm at an open mic. Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Big crowd. Terry, nice to see ya. Elaine, hi. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like every other day I hear a story about AI. And if I'm being honest, I'm quite against it. And not for the reasons you might think. Not because I'm scared of the robots taking over, but because I'm scared that I'm gonna end up fighting alongside them. Like, you know that Sophia the robot? That mechanical bitch who always looks just a little bit constipated? I saw a video of her talking about how she wanted to get married, but she was upset because robots aren't allowed to. And while I was watching that, I got sad. For a robot. But there are so many injustices in the world for human beings, we do not have time to start fighting for robots' rights. But if these things start to get the ability to think for themselves, I'm gonna feel bad. And then next thing you know, I'm at a protest in Times Square holding up a poster that says, if it can think, it can feel, and I'm not invited to Thanksgiving dinner anymore. I just think it's so funny that the church thinks a clump of cells in a uterus counts as life, but scientists are out here making full-ass people who can think for themselves, and they're like, oh, it's not real if you can switch it off. Like, bitch, I can switch off a human too, it just takes a little bit more than pressing a button. I was briefly raised in the Catholic Church, and when I say briefly, I mean briefly. Like, not long enough to make me actually believe in God, but just long enough to put an innate sense of shame into my soul that I really can never dig out. And I never thought that that would have an impact on my development. But then I watched season 2 of Fleabag. And if you haven't watched the show, you may have heard that there is a hot priest. Now, members of the church got their panties in a twist when this came out because a TV show showed a priest acting on his sexual desires. But to me, I'm like, if a priest is going to have sex, it's actually quite refreshing for it to be with a consenting adult. Now, going into watching this show, I knew that I would most likely find myself attracted to a priest. I was prepared for that. But what I wasn't prepared for was to fall in love. And now, I have deleted every single dating app on my phone, and instead will just be going from church to church to church, attending every mass until I find a hot priest whose values I can compromise. I'm going to walk into the confessional, and I'm going to hit him with that, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And the next thing you know, I'm going to be on my knees in prayer. And then I'll go home and absolutely destroy myself with the guilt, because that's Catholicism. That's my time. Thank you so much. Woo! Well, that's that. They're not very good jokes, but it is a stand-up set. And maybe by the time that open mics are a thing again, it will be a completed stand-up set. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let me know what kind of dumb jokes you come up with while high. Because there's a lot of them. And they are gold. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in church.